Hello guys, I'm Karthik again. Today I'm going to show you how to create a simple API and how to start implementation of the API and how to get start with Mule Anypoint platform. So right now I logged into Anypoint platform and you can go to Anypoint API manager. So usually in MuleSoft we design the design specification in using RAML. RAML is a RESTful API modeling language. So here, whatever you start, it's a new API. So for now I'll just name my API as Instagram. You can have your own version name like 1.0 dev or 1.0 QA, like that you can have. My suggestion is you always start with one version, and you know the API endpoint you can give right now or you can give it later. So Instagram API for photos and videos management. Okay, I'll just start my API. So in API administration we have three things, API definition, API portal, API status. So usually the RAML definition we write in API designer. Then after writing the RAML, you have your own resources and resource methods. You can view them in portal. You can showcase them to end user. You can give access to readable access to all the methods in that API, in API portal at later point of time. So we start with API design. Okay. So now you can change the RAML version to 1.0. It's the latest, and you have our API title as Instagram. Here, if you want, you can give base URI, or for testing purpose, you can start mocking service so that you can start calling this API here. The mock URI is just for testing purpose. I would suggest you start first, start your RAML skeleton first. So today I want to provide 4 different methods in my API. For example, a simple method can be provided, with starting with a resource can be provided by slash and colon. So I want to have around 4 video and videos. Okay. I have 4 different resources. If you can see, Anypoint designer provides you, runtime viewability of your methods. If you start mock URI right now, this way, you can write photo. Sorry, typo. Photo. It will say cannot get photo. Okay, we need to start implementing, our implementation. Okay, I'll stop it for now. Okay, what can we provide in API definition? You have 4 different methods, and for each method you want to provide the data. Like if, for example, photo is there. Okay, what does photo should do? Should it be only get or put or post or patch or delete, whatever the operations? How do you want to define your API is solely your requirement. But if you want to design a very good API, you should have 3 things. It should provide you the life cycle. That means a photo resource should deal with photos, and these photos should be get and should be put and should be posted. So all the options you should have. So get, for now I'll just put get and put. Okay, in get you can start with a description, get a photo. Okay, now what else you can provide? Okay, what should the get return, or what should it return? It's up to you. How do you define? Usually 200 is HTTP status for success. When you call a photo, it should return a JSON data. for now, for sample purpose, I'm just writing application by JSON. You can provide, multi-part or octet stream or, XML, anything you can provide. I'm just solely, showcasing how you can provide, right now. A simple example I will take, photos. I'm just writing, okay. If you see photo, it has get and put. Inside get, I have my description, security schemes, we haven't defined anything, and 200 status, JSON, example, and you have the example content. Okay, now if you want to provide any, query parameter, how do you provide? In get, you can choose query parameters, and you can write photo. For photo, you provide an ID, okay, or name. I have two query parameters, okay. ID, what is ID? So the type defines what is ID. ID is a number. I just want to define it as a number. If you provide photo with query parameter as photo question mark ID equal to 5, this is how I want to fetch my data, okay. So for that purpose, I provided ID, okay. You can say, if you want to make it a mandatory, you can put required, minimum, maximum, default. These are the basic examples you have. I'll just simply provide an example 5. Then description, unique ID for photo, okay. Then display name I'll just write enter ID, okay. I'll just save my API file saved. If you click photo, get, you see enter ID, required number, example, I'm just giving you 5, unique ID for photo, okay. And okay, what is the failure scenario? How do you want to handle failure scenario? For example, we'll start with 400 body. In failure case, example, no photo fetched, okay. I'll save. You see, I have 400, no photos fetched. I'll write error, no photo fetched. How about that? Okay, 400 error, no photo fetched, okay. Now I have photos. It has, I have photo, it has get and put, and in get I have one query parameter ID and another query parameter name. For name, I will define type as string. You enter, what are the photo name if you want to enter, description, unique name for photo, okay. I have right now I have is a method definition. It has two responses, success and failure. It has two query parameters, one string and one number, and you can check this one here. If you say mark, and if you try photo, cannot get, I'm sorry, should have taken the latest photo. See, responses, query parameter ID required. So for that, remember guys, you should always open the Postman from Chrome browser, because it inherits the browser capabilities. When you're working, it won't ask you for certificate. So query parameter, okay, how do you pass query parameter? id equal to 6, send. Name required. Okay, did I do name as mandatory? No, I don't think so. Query parameters name required. I don't think so. For now I'll remove. Okay, photo. So this is the successful response I have in my mind. Okay, so okay, we can forget about the name. Okay, no, for now I'll just enter get and post. Okay, we'll have videos get post. Okay, this is all I have, and responses 200 body XML body. I'll mention XML example. Photos. Okay, response. Okay, I might have photos. What happened to this? Response. Photos. Okay, done deal. Then okay, let's start with this one. Okay, how do you let me turn off mocking service. If you how do you want to secure your API? For securing your API you have secured by. So here you can mention basic or OAuth, any security mechanism you have available with any point studio. This is how you mention security. Okay, what else you have? What else you want to do with raml? You want to do your implementation. So okay, one more thing. How do you provide URI parameters? URI parameters can be provided like this: photos ID. Okay, here you can have your implementation. If you see, photos has photo ID. Okay, here get responses 200 body example URI. Okay, okay. Now if you see, photos ID has one get. Here ID is required parameter. Okay, this one has. Okay, now what we do is we save. Okay, we have our API Instagram here. Okay, so version 1 we'll download it as a zip file. Okay, so showing folder, we have Instagram 1.0. Okay, now I'll start a new Mule project. Instagram implementation. You can write your own name. Here there is a option API kit settings. Okay, what we want to provide is API definition. So this definition you can directly download from any point platform, or you can, when you download, you can provide your own uh, version here. So I have named uh, Instagram zip. Okay, open, finish. So what MuleSoft Anypoint platform and Anypoint Studio provide is closer integration. You can define your API in Anypoint platform, and you can create an implementation for that API in your Anypoint Studio very easily. So when you import your API, you will automatically get how many resource methods you are available. So you will get that many flows plus one flow extra. That flow is for routing the uh, the incoming call to the particular resource operation. So this is the main flow you will be getting. Okay. So in main flow, what you have is an API kit router. So how does it do routing? So if you closely see the method, we have put for photo and get for photo. Okay, you have two options. Here we just mentioned in photo get operation, we just mentioned simple photo example, right? So using set payload, it will show. By default you will get error handling, 404, 405, 415. These are the standard errors. You will get not acceptable, bad request, and 404 means not found, resource not found, and method not allowed. These are the basic exception handling we will get. So if you want to implement these operations in separate flows, you can start creating new mule configuration file, and you can just drag and drop these operations. Okay, let us start with a simple implementation. When user perform get operation on resource photo, what should it do? It should return photos. Okay, how do you want to return photo? Where do you have it? If you have that in SQL, you can just result the SQL, or if you have it in some other web service, you can just directly call that web service, and you can provide, if you want to transform it into XML to JSON, you can use a simple transform message. And if you want to write your own exception handling, here you can write. Otherwise, if you can define global exception handling here in global configuration. Okay, if here default exception strategy, you can choose this one. Otherwise, if you want to write, you can write your own, and you can choose it here. And if even if you have global exception handling, if you want to overwrite, you can directly go to catch exception strategy, and you can drop it inside catch exception strategy, and you can choice, you can write choice. Oh, what is happening? Okay, delete choice. Okay, choice, inside choice you can do different catch exception strategies. You can write mule exception, mule expression, like exception dot cause matches, or caused by, or cause exactly. These are the common exception handling strategies you can define for your operation. So in simply within minutes, what MuleSoft Anypoint platform and Mule Anypoint Studio provide you is within 5 to 10 minutes you can have a skeleton of your web service, restful web service, which has 4 different methods, and which can, uh, even you can connect to Amazon S3, and you can fetch some data. If you have your data inside a MongoDB, you can define your database, and you just need connection string. That's it. Generic. You can provide your connection string and driver, and common reconnection count. These are the sample parameters you can provide. If you have your data inside, mm, if it is a dependent application, if you have some web services going on in your landscape, you can execute any HTTP call. If you can provide connection timeout, and you can handle the data. Otherwise, if you want to provide your own service, you can say web service consumer. You can provide the connector and operation. You have lot of scope and lot of flexibility inside MuleSoft. If you, as I told you, you can change from one resource, one model to another model. Data type you can change from JSON to XML to anything, Java. You have your own control. If you want to create a new object, you can, here you can say payload mm, mm, pay payload dot pay. You can write as uh, if you have your own class defined over here, you can create object with the content you will receive from your database call or restful call. Anything you have a lot of scope in designing your web service and connecting to. These are the available connectors. If you have FTP, if you have some file in server, if there are any some files, everyday batch results, or result set of some MDM or SAP or Salesforce, you have from FTP also you can connect, and you have transformers. You can you can have in and outs, you can log. So this is how Mule provides us the core definition of a web service. So for this after you do your web service, you can directly deploy to cloud. When you deploy to cloud, here 1.0 no portal, right? Here it will show the runtime version. How you want to see is go to runtime manager. Inside runtime manager, if you deploy whatever the project name, Instagram implementation, if you deploy, for now I have only production named as my server. So here on any server, you can deploy your application, give the name, Instagram implementation, runtime version, core size. This is for cloud hub deployment. If you have you need to choose your deployable file here. So here you get it from sandbox, or choose file, whatever you get here. If you want to export as Mule Anypoint Studio deployable archive, this is the option you need to choose. Otherwise, you can right away choose Anypoint platform, deploy to cloud. It will load up here. You can log in, and you can still get the same options. Okay, how do you restrict your API? Okay, up to now you saw how this how it gets deployed. After it gets deployed, you go to your implementation, your API. For example, 1.0, here policies. You have your own policies. You can define. Now the API is not deployed. If you have it deployed here, you can define your own policies, SLA types, and permissions, whoever can access. So if I go, after you have your API up and running, you can create your own application for it. Creating an application means you will get a client ID and client secret. Using that client ID and client secret, anybody can access this API through an application. So this is analytics. Analytics provides you how many calls you get for this API, how many successful, how many error, and these are the options usually Mule provides. So overall, I would say Anypoint platform has all the things we need in a simplified form. If you see Anypoint platform. So after everything is completed, you can provide the API in Exchange, or, you can access internally, or you can provide it to public people, or you can provide it as a template to all the people who have access to any platform, whether trial or licensed version. So this is how the MuleSoft, RESTful web service is designed, developed, and managed, and stabilized, optimized for the performance tuning. So this is up for today, guys. Thank you for watching the video.